How's it going, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, aka Big D. It's time to review The Flash, Season 2, Episode 8, titled Legends of Today. It's a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, make sure to go to thecw.com/theflash, watch the full episode there. This is the first part out of 2 of the Flash and Arrow crossover, the second annual crossover, man. Heroes join forces, so of course Flash, and then already, if you're watching this, the Arrow is up as well. So let's get right to it, baby. Here we go. Honestly, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Vandal Savage comes out. I mean, it's definitely it's a big crossover, man. It's bigger than last year's. I mean, you got the Team Flash, Tom Cavanaugh, Daniel Panabaker, Cisco, all of them. Hell, freaking Jay Garrick's in this episode, and then you have Team Arrow. The main, I believe Thea's in here as well. Thea, Diggle, man, just it's crazy. It's honestly crazy. Damien Dark's in this episode, except Zoom. Zoom is not in both of the episodes, sadly. But either way, Vandal Savage. Here we go. Spoiler review. If you have not known that already, if it said spoiler review, make sure you have seen the episode, and let's get right into it. It's taking less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons, and final score. Let's get right to it. So Vandal Savage arrives, man. He's on a ship and everything. He comes out. He was a stowaway, all that. He ends up killing the shipmate and the captain. He literally just uses his knife, and he's like, because he had a cuffs on, and he's like, no, Captain, you're the one with the cuffs. What is this magic? What are you, Houdini? No, I taught him. And he's like, holy shit, like, did Vandal Savage teach Houdini? Is this real? I mean, seriously, that's pretty awesome if he did teach Houdini in the show. That's pretty cool mythology there. So Cisco's on a date with Kendra, and of course, let's just say Vandal Savage interrupts the date, and he throws a knife. He goes to Kendra and he calls her this name because, spoiler alert, he knows her from ancient Egypt because Kendra, she's died hundreds of times, 204 times, I believe, something like that. Even Hawkman, they've died, and then they regenerate, like they go to different lives, and they have to find each other again, and it's basically that type of life. So he basically, Vandal Savage is immortal, so he ends up interrupts the date. The Flash helps, and so Vandal's after Kendra, but Vandal Savage ended up escaping. They go to Team Arrow for help. So Team Arrow is fighting Damien Dark at the time. Oliver almost died, but the Flash saved him. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if the Flash didn't come, then Oliver Queen would have died. What a coincidence that the exact moment that Oliver Queen was going to die is that, the Flash saved him. What a coincidence. That wasn't in this Arrow's, episode, the weekly, not the crossover. Wow, they go after Damien Dark. So, and I love it because Flash saves Arrow, Oliver, and I love how Damien Dark's just like, what was that? Just all happy and everything. He was all invested into all of it. So they end up catching up. They have a party. Vandal Savage interrupts again. This guy interrupts everything, dude. You could tell. I think it was a stunt double when he broke through the glass. I'm like, stunt double. That's a stunt double, dude. You could tell it's a stunt double. And then the fighting scene, some of the fighting up close, that's a stunt double. I could see the side of the face. That's not Vandal Savage's, the actor's face. So I could tell there's always stunt doubles there. So anyway, Vandal has the knife, and he's like, whoosh, he throws the knife, and the Flash ends up saving Team Arrow. He ends up getting stabbed, but he's quickly regenerate, he re-health and everything. So Thea ends up going crazy with the arrows, and she ends up getting him pretty good, where Vandal ends up falling off the balcony, and that's a pretty high, the highest place you could be at the top of the apartment building, I guess you could say, the condo. So anyway, he falls off balcony and he's disappeared. Cisco told Barry about his vibes, about how he's having vibes about Kendra being a bird woman, which is basically a hot girl. So Malcolm arrives out of nowhere and he ends up explains Vandal Savage, how he's immortal. Kendra is taken by Hawkman, which was kind of very, very, very. I just didn't like that scene because all of a sudden here's Hawkman. Whee! And he just takes Kendra. I was just like, yeah, that wasn't a good scene. So we have Harrison Wells working on Velocity 6 so he could give it to Barry in order to catch up to Zoom's type of Mach speed. Hawkman versus Arrow and Flash, man. So it's Hawkman versus Arrow and Flash. This was probably one of the most epic scenes out of the whole crossover itself. I love it, man. There was a few cheesy parts, like where Flash falls and he catches the zipline thing. I was like, really? Really? That's what you're going to do? But it did some pretty interesting things, man. Hawkman's a very strong guy. So they take him down, and Patty ends up shooting Harrison Wells, which was kind of a really stupid thing overall. She ends up shooting him, and Caitlin comes in. Oh my god, what did you do? Oh. I was like, what the heck? I know you could act better than that. I mean, you're not a great actress, but you're pretty good. I know you could act better than... Oh my god, what did you do? Like, she just walks in, like, didn't you hear the gunshot? Oh my god, Harrison. Like, you'd be more... You're just like, oh my god, what did you do? I was like, what are you doing? I know you're better than this. You have to be better than this, man. So, anyway, Kendra is trying to emerge, the Hawk Girl has to come out of her. So the staff of Horus is what Vandal Savage is after at the current moment. Harry is in surgery. Jay takes Velocity 6 and saves him, the bullet that was in him. Kendra emerges. She falls off the building and the Hawk Girl comes out of her and she ends up flying and everything. Vandal has the staff. There's a fight in a church and he destroys the church with the staff of Horus. And Flash and the Green Arrow end up escaping. But Vandal is in the Central City. Oliver sees the son and mother, the baby mama, and the son, William, which is his child. He ends up seeing him at Jitters, so... That's the end of the episode, man. So what did I think about this first part of this, 1 out of 2 of the crossover, man, of the Flash and Arrow for the Flash here. So overall, let me give you the pros. Vandal Savage, man. Vandal Savage is an interesting man. He's an interesting villain. I definitely like where he's coming from. I like the way that he is a good villain. He is not a great villain, but he's a good villain. He definitely has that strong feel to him and that he really means business. So I definitely do like that about Vandal Savage. I think he's going to be a very intense villain throughout the series of Legends of Tomorrow. Hawkman and Hawkgirl finally on the Flareoverse is amazing. I think Hawkman's really awesome. I think he's a cool character. Sometimes he gets annoying because, he's all business sometimes. Sometimes he's a douche, but he's pretty interesting. I think they're going to work better in Legends of Tomorrow than Arrow and Flash, honestly. Hawkgirl as well, she's not in costume yet, man, but she finally, had the wings spread out and kind of reminded me of Birdman, the movie with Michael Keaton. I'm not going to spoil what happens in Birdman, but there's a flying scene. That's all I'll say in Birdman. And just reminded me of that where she flew. And it's just a very big moment, man. I love Cisco's reaction there. Some of the effects in here were good. I'm not saying all there are some pretty crappy effects in here, but some of the effects were awesome, man. I did enjoy most of the effects in this episode for the most part. There's only a few CGI effects that were really good. Some of the other effects, not so much. Arrow versus Hawkman, again, that whole scene in Flash helping, that was definitely my favorite part of the episode there. The fights and the action, you even had some of the action like the Damien Dark, I definitely love the directing of that scene. Like that scene, I love how the camera stays still and it kind of shakes a little bit, but not too much, where Diggle is fighting some ghost, Thea's fighting some ghost, hell, even Oliver, and they're all just there together, and the camera is just there, and it has different angles. but I love the way that it directed that action. Whoever directed this episode really was very good at directing that action there between Damien Dark and the Team Arrow. That was really awesome. It was funny, the team up, man. I mean, Cisco made jokes. Barry and Oliver were having a fun time, with the party and everything. So it definitely had. I'm not. Y'all know I love Marvel, but don't get me started with this whole Marvel and DC thing. No fighting there. No fighting there. We're all superhero nerds. We're all nerd people. Okay. Okay. Stop it there. Hoo-ah, yeah, hoo-ah. Seriously, the second episode in the Arrow crossover, they have an Avengers Barn reference. In here, they're having a party, and then the main villain shows up and interrupts. Who are you? I'm going to take you down. You know what I mean? Like, that's how Ultron interrupted. You know what I mean? So, it's kind of parallel. They're having a party, they're having a good time, using them, doing the moves and everything. Not really dancing, honestly. But, they're having a fun time. And then the fight begins. Parallel. I'm not saying they're the same thing, but close. Also, Vandal and the balcony, again, Thea going crazy with that and then Vandal falling off. I did like that scene, although that you can tell the stunt double, there are some stunt doubles within the crossovers there, so I don't like that one bit there. But so again, the Vandal and the balcony thing. The opening of the episode with Vandal arriving, I did enjoy that. I think that was a good opening to introduce the character. And the ending of the episode where we get to see Oliver, bumping into his son and then seeing the baby mama from far away. I do like that because it's a big part of the Arrow episode, which is coming up right now. Next on the channel. The only cons I have here, there are other effects in here that didn't work for me. Like when Hawkman took Hawkgirl in this episode, those effects were just not that good. Not that. And I'm not saying this episode's ruined because it didn't have the greatest effect. No, it's a TV show. It's not going to have movie effects or anything like that. Are you crazy? It's not going to have that many good effects. But I have a feeling Legends of Tomorrow is going to at least have, some bigger effects. At least. Just a bigger, more budget there. Damien Dark. I like Neil McDonough. I think he's awesome in Arrow. But if you're not going to have Zoom in any of this crossover, why are you going to show Damien Dark? Like, just it didn't really... Damien Dark, he looked so comedic this episode, dude. I felt like I was watching Neil McDonough doing another character than seeing Damien Dark. You know what I mean? Seeing Damien Dark this episode, it didn't feel like I was seeing Damien Dark. You know what I mean? Like, I can't take him serious anymore. Like, if you're not going to show Zoom, then don't show the Arrow villain, okay? Just as simple as that. The whole fighting thing, it was good fighting, but it was really unnecessary at the same time. Really, he was killing Oliver, and then Oliver doesn't die. Don't start any of that, dude. Don't do any of that. Harry. That was really unnecessary as well. Harry being shot, all that. Honestly, if they didn't have Tom Cavanaugh and Caitlin in here, the Harrison Wells storyline there, I could literally care less about the Velocity 6. I could care less about that, honestly. I trim all that out, cut it out, and add it with the Arrow and Flash team. Harrison Wells should have been with the Green Arrow and them. They should have been in Star City, not Central City. Also, the fight in the church, I think it was unnecessary as well. Very unnecessary. It wasn't epic. All they were doing was, here's Flash running, blasted away. Green Arrow, he's dodging, blasted away, and then the church blows up. That's it. There's no action scene. There's nothing. There's just a bunch of explosions and then them running away. There's nothing there that was really a big fighting scene. Nothing there that really to grasp on. You know what I'm saying? So overall, I'm going to end up giving this episode, guys, a solid B. It was a good episode, man. I don't think it was a great episode, but I do think it was a good start to a Arrow and Flash crossover. Thanks so much for watching. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. Comment down below. Let me know what did you think about this Flash, the Flash part of the crossover. Tell me down below. Thanks. I'll see you all for the Arrow And remember, just keep on running, baby. Next week is the mid-season finale of The Flash. Mark Hamill's returning as the Trickster. Captain Cold, Wentworth Miller also returns. And the Weather Wizard makes a return, too. So it's going to be a mighty, mighty fine mid-season finale. Get ready for the Christmas holidays. I'm ready. Tell me if you are. If you really enjoyed this review, guys, or you want to support this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. That'd be amazing, man. That would make my day. Put a smile on my face there. So, you know, if you feel it, I'll be happy to make more content for you guys. I honestly will. So, it's been a little rough day. A little tired. A little tired today. You know what? Thank you guys again. Remember, The Flash next week, mid-season. Again, Arrow coming up. Let's get ready. Let's have a fun time. See you next week. Bye-bye. Spock be with you always.